doesn't make them a martyr, it makes them a murderer.
That's right.
And if they are martyrs, here's their chance. To fight mano a mano, hand to hand, piedra a piedra. Is that how you say it? Or still that's rock, right?
Yes, right.
Rock, okay. Mano a mano. I never said I was a specialist in Spanish. Man to man. And if you're going to be killed by Israel, after all, these are the Zionists who have come to take over Hebron and Jericho, you'll die as a martyr because you died in combat. See, but that's not their definition of a martyr. All these murdering bozos are holed up in secret and are using the papacy and appealing to the Pope to give them protection in the Church of the Nativity. If they really want to be martyrs, let them come out of the church, amen, and let them fight the Israeli soldiers, mano a mano, man to man, and let the best man win. But they don't do that, do they? They want to blow up innocent and target innocent civilians. Are you with me? After all, if it's Palestinian territory, after all, and now the Israeli army is in Palestinian territory, the best way to get the Israeli army out is kill the Israeli army. But have you noticed? They're too busy running. Have you noticed? They're too busy running from the Israeli army to do any killing. To stand and kill and fight, you got to stand and fight. But they're in hiding. Then as soon as the Israeli army pulls out, what are they going to do?
Demonstrate.
They're going to come out of the holes, and they're going to send more suicide bombers into Sabaro's Pizzeria on Jaffa Street. Some heroes. Some martyrs.
Where do they eat the Quran when they run?
Just like bin Laden. He sends young men and women to commit suicide, and he's hiding in caves. Yehoshua 5. The captain said in verse 14, No. I have now come as captain of the hosts of Yahweh. Now watch this. Don't miss this. I have come as captain of the hosts of Yahweh, and Yehoshua fell on his face to the earth and did obeisance and said unto my master, What is my master saying to his servant? Brothers and sisters, Jericho is not only not a Palestinian town in Israeli-occupied West Bank, it is the first city, listen, Israelite city given to the people of Israel after 40 years of wilderness wandering. It was the first place, and it was the first time, listen, that the entire nation met the pre-incarnate, pre-Bethlehem Yeshua. That is Yeshua, and Yeshua is the captain of Yahweh's army.
Amen.
He was the man with a drawn-out sword.
Yes.
And Joshua said, wow, this is cool. The battle's not mine. It belongs to Yahweh. Yahweh even sent us a commander. Yahweh even sent us a commander. I've never met the man, but apparently he's qualified. And Joshua said, I'll show you how qualified I am. Take off your shoes, for the place you are standing is Eretz Kadosh. Because I am Yahweh manifested as a man. Yahweh manifested in the flesh. And I represent Yahweh, and I've come to deliver Jericho. And so Jericho was delivered into the hands of Israel. CNN didn't tell you that, did they? Fox didn't tell you that, did they? That Yahweh sent his son in a pre-incarnate Christophany or theophany to literally hand over. You know how they're calling Israel? To hand over Jericho? You know how they're calling on Israel? To hand over Hebron? Yahweh sent his son to be the captain of the army to literally hand it over to the people of Israel.
Amen.
So does Yahweh want Jericho handed over? Yes, he does. Right back to the people he gave it to
Right.
some 3,500 years ago.
Amen.
I'm reading to you from the Bible. I don't need the New York Times. I don't need the Washington Post. I don't need the National Enquirer. Inquiring minds want to know, and I get all my information from 2 Shmuel and Yehoshua 5. You with me?
Yes. Amen.
This is unbelievable. You see what the enemy has done? These are precious cities, listen, not only precious cities of Judah. Okay? You're going to see Ephraim come into this picture in a second. Not only these precious cities of Judah, Yahweh sent a theophany of his son who appeared as a man to lead the nation of Israel into the first city. They had no presence in the Holy Land before Jericho. Think about what I'm telling you. They had no presence in the Holy Land before Jericho. Jericho was the first city that they conquered. And now they say, well, it's our land, get off our land. And Ariel Sharon says, A, it's not your land. B, we're not going anywhere until we take all your martyrs out of the closet. All your martyrs that are hiding, and pull them out and bring them a little dose of Israeli justice.
Hallelujah.
How ironic. You're right, Sarah. How ironic. See, I'm seeing some of the spirituality here this morning. Some of you are just waiting for me to do my Shabbat thing, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to show you the Yahweh's perspective on today's news. I'm not going to shout today. I'm not going to bounce off walls today. So you can just sit there and do what you got to do. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Yahweh hand-delivered the city of Jericho to the people of Israel and the world. There's not a government, listen, a government in this world that believes Jericho belongs to Israel. Not even our State Department, not even our Defense Department, not a single government that believes that Yeshua came down from heaven to deliver it to Yehoshua. Take your map. Take your map. Open your map. Look at your atlas. And look at the Yarden River that goes to Galilee in the north and the Dead Sea in the south. And then look at the west side of the Yarden River and you'll see all these cities that Yahweh gave to Israel, that the world calls Israeli occupied territory. Yes, it's occupied by the Palestinians. And the good news is, be not afraid, Isaiah 49. Don't be afraid. Your Elohim is coming. Talk to the cities. Sing to the cities. Send emails to the cities of Judah. Send mailgrams. Send letters, snail mail, email. Tell the cities of Judah. Get the message. Don't worry. See, your Elohim is coming. Because there's no way to get rid of the occupiers on the Palestinian-occupied West Bank. Only Yeshua. If he, I feel like shouting, but I'm gonna stay calm now. I feel a shout coming. But if Yeshua delivered Jericho 3,500 years ago, he's gonna do the same thing in the last days. For there's nothing new under the sun.
That's right.
Thank you, Mary. Kol HaChazak.
Amen.
What Yahshua did to Jericho, he will do again. And so it's up to you and I as Bible believers who don't believe the propaganda machine about the Israel must remove the troops. Israel must bring immediate end to the occupation and the daily humiliation and suffering of the Palestinian people. Israel must withdraw immediately and unconditionally. Return to the negotiating table. Sure, while you're blowing up pizza parlors, killing our women and children, and you are defying the commander of Yahweh's army, Yeshua. You're not defying Ariel Sharon. You are defiling and defying Yeshua himself. Do you understand what's happening on the West Bank? That is a defying and a defilement of the one who said, I'm the commander of the hosts of Israel. See, in the natural, we think it's Sharon. Or in the natural, the people thought it was Yehoshua who took over from Moshe Rabbeinu. But in the Ruach, it is Yeshua. Amen? Amen? And what happened once? Man, I'm looking forward. Man, I'm looking forward. Not looking back. Remember Lot's wife? When Yeshua will do again what he did in those days. Now look at verse 15. The captain of the hosts of Yahweh's army said to Yehoshua, you need to take off your sandals. The place you stand is set apart ground. Just like when Yeshua was on earth, the Talmudim worshipped him. Hello? They worshipped him because he was Yahweh manifested in the flesh. And they worshipped him, and he never said don't do it. He never said don't do it. He accepted worship because he had all the glory of Yahweh before he came to this earth. He divested himself of that glory so he may accomplish the work of redemption. So yes, as a man, he was subject and subordinate to the Father. And he still is subject and subordinate to the Father. But the point is, he was manifested, and Yehoshua said, well, this is cool. It's not my job, it's your job. So what do I do? He said, just take off your sandals and start worshiping. So what are we going to do now that the Palestinians are in the Palestinian-occupied West Bank? What are we going to do?
Take off your break. Shout from the back.
Just do some more worship. Get Vanya to come up with some new original songs. Worship. Not more, then worship. Because the same one who gave Jericho to our people is about to give it back to our people.
Amen.
Against the better judgment of the United States State Department, of the European Union, of the United Nations, of Secretary General Kofi Annan, against the better advice of the legions of intelligentsia of the modern world. Yahweh says, now you speak, don't be afraid. I'll tell you that, don't be afraid. All these reports are designed to make you afraid. All you got to do is realize that Yeshua is the captain of the host. That Yeshua is the captain of the armies of Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Yes.
See, I love you enough to tell you this truth. We need to come to Shul. Aren't you glad you're in Shul?
Yes.
Because, I mean, there's no one telling you this. There's no one telling you what Yahweh says in His Word. This is what Yahweh says in His Word. See, now sometimes we have a hard time believing what Yahweh says because everything looks so contrary. Are you with me? How many Jews are in Jericho? How many Israelites are in Jericho today? Not too many. How many Israelites are in Hebron today? 500. At one time, all 12 tribes came to David and made a covenant with Yahweh in 2 Shmuel 5:1. Today, there's 500 left. So by the eyes, it can't be. How can this be land given to our people by Yahweh? Maybe we are occupying the land. See? And that's how the devil works on our mind. Maybe we are occupying this land. Maybe we should withdraw. Because there's thousands of Edomites, and there's only 500 Israelites in Hebron. So we don't have the numbers. Amen? That's okay. Sorry to the front row. My condolences. I won't do it again, I promise. That was just that was a spur of the moment. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So Yehoshua said, okay, Yahweh, you're going to give me Jericho. Do you understand Yahweh sent Yeshua from heaven, the pre-incarnate word of Yahweh, before he was born in Bethlehem, to hand over Jericho? Hello?
Hallelujah.
Hand over Jericho.
Hallelujah.
So what should our message be? Yeshayahu 49. Say to the cities of Judah, Jericho is a city of Judah. Hebron is a city of Judah. Everything you hear, read, see, and have pumped at you tells you the Israelis must end the occupation and get out of Palestinian territory. Day after day after day after day after day. This is the West Bank. I have news for you. If you take away the West Bank from Israel, there is no Israel. Do you know the only other cities Israel has, major cities, are Tel Aviv and the outskirts, like Netanya, Bat Yam, and then Haifa to the north, which is on the coast of the Mediterranean? That's all. If you give the West Bank to the Palestinians, which Yahweh never did, all you're left with is coastal Mediterranean seas. You know what's on the east bank of the Jordan River? Do you know what's on the east bank? They say, well, Israel can keep the east bank. Gee, thanks. You know what's on the east side of the Jordan River? Jordan. They want to squeeze in Israel into a territory that is indefensible with boundaries, that is 10 miles wide. 10 miles. Can any country defend themselves on a place where their country is just 10 miles wide? Impossible. See, they know that. The UN knows that. The European Union knows that because they don't want an Israel. Arafat does not want a state next to Israel. He wants a state in place of Israel. Because when they say the West Bank, we're sitting in America thinking, all right, what's the big deal? It's just land. For peace, we'll do it for peace. We should get out for peace. Okay, if we get out tomorrow, we are dishonoring Yahweh who sent Yeshua to give Jericho and Hebron to the United. He brought healing to the two houses. Even way back when, in the days of David, in Jericho, he brought healing. And we're handing it back. But even if we get out, you know what's left? Nothing. All we have left on the East Bank is Jordan. Now, if Jordan is willing to give the East Bank back to Israel, then there's something to consider. We have no place to go. Are you getting the picture? Are you getting this picture? If we do what every nation on earth is screaming for us to do, and itching for us to do, and we give the West Bank to the Palestinians, okay, forget about Yahweh. Forget about Yahweh here. Just take the West Bank. Well, we can't go to the East Bank because who's in the East Bank? So what do we have left? We just go to Netanya, Tel Aviv, and Haifa, which is a few miles from the ocean. You getting the picture? They take us out of Israel proper and start moving us west. And if we keep going west, where do we wind up? In the bottom of the Mediterranean.
Bed is too short.
So we can't have this is the Palestinian peace plan. You ready? Here's the Palestinian peace plan. Israel can't have the East Bank. Israel can't have the West Bank. And we're going to put all the Jews on the coast of the Mediterranean, so it's just one short kick into the ocean. You know when the peace process will be complete? Can we talk? You know when the peace process, someone's going to enjoy this teaching.
Yes.
That's not getting this manna. You know when the peace process is going to be officially over? When the last bubble of the last Jew who's thrown into the Mediterranean floats to the top, the peace process will be over. Think about it. If you can't live on the East Bank, you can't live on the West Bank, you can't live in the South. What's South? Mitzrayim. You can't live in the East, it's Jordan. You can't live in the North, it's Syria and Lebanon. So you got one place to go, to the coast. And that's exactly what the plan is, the peace plan, the process. The peace process is designed to take 5 million Jews, move them right to the border of the Mediterranean Sea, give them a kick in the pants, float every Jew into the bottom of the Mediterranean, and when the last bubble rises to the top, the peace process is over. Are you getting this? It's about time someone shared the truth with you.
Amen.
You can get angry at me if you want to. You can call it mean, angry preaching, no heart teaching. You can call it whatever you want. I'm telling you what 2 Shmuel says. I'm telling you what Yehoshua 5 says. Amen? I'm not in this to win any popularity contests. I haven't won any. And you know who are the most susceptible to these lies? Minority groups. Be careful if you're a minority group. Because they see the Palestinians, dark skin, oppressed, and they think of slavery. You with me? And they say, oh, this is just a poor, defenseless minority. Be careful. That's a spirit of seduction. This is not a poor, defenseless minority. Who are these Palestinians? The question needs to be answered. If they're not a defenseless minority, who are they? They're Jordanian citizens. How many Palestinians are there on the West Bank today in Palestinian-occupied territory? How many? 4 million? 3 million? Right? How did they get 4 million people there overnight? In 1967, Israel conquered the West Bank and Jerusalem from Jordan, and all those Jordanian Palestinians were now Israel's problem. And that's how you got 4 million Palestinians in Israel. By Jordan losing the Six-Day War in June 1967, the whole Palestinian population stayed where they were. They didn't move. But now they're no longer part of Jordan. They're part of Israel. Now it's Israel's problem. Go deal with it.
Yeah.
That's how they got 4 million Palestinians on the West Bank. Now what has the media told us? What has the Palestinian propaganda machine told us? The Jews kicked them out, right? In 1948, when the State of Israel was declared, the Jews kicked them out, right? Isn't that what we've been told? Day after day, season after season. And now they've come back and they just want their land back. That's all they want. Now you ask King Hussein, you ask the leaders of the nation of Jordan, how many Palestinians lived on the West Bank in 1965 and 1966? That's where they lived, in Jordan, on the western part of Jordan. Israel won the war, now all of a sudden they're Israel's problem. But Israel never kicked them out, and all these poor people want is their land back. You follow me? But that's what we believe, that's what the whole world believes. That the Jews took away their land. So we see Hebron, a city of Judah. We see Jericho, a city of Judah. Go with me to Bereshis. All right, I'll ask it anyway. Anyone enjoying?
Yes.
Bereshis 35. I couldn't resist. Bereshis 35. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Bereshis 35. Genesis 35. Verse 4. So they gave Yaakov all the foreign mighty ones which were in their hands, and all the earrings which were in their ears. And Yaakov hid them under the terebinth tree that was near Shechem. Now jump down to verse 10. And by the way, people say, you know, as a rabbi or as a shepherd, you're not supposed to talk about politics. Well, I got news for you. There's nothing to do with politics. That's to do with the Bible.
Yes.
Are you with me? And that's why we're not a state church. People ask me, are you 501c3? Absolutely not. Because I'll be darned if they tell me what to teach and what to preach. Amen. So just for your private information, we are not 501c3. Neither will we ever be. So they can't revoke my tax-exempt status because I'm going to tell the truth. This prophet is not for sale.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Go ahead and revoke my tax-exempt status. I don't have one anyway.
What tax?
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Amen.
People ask me all the time, are my gifts tax deductible? If you want them to be, go ahead. That's between you and Yahweh. But you know, that's why they want the state churches. They want to take a Messianic Israel Assembly, turn it into a state church by giving us a 501c certificate. So if we preach against the State Department when they talk about Israeli occupied territory, and we don't agree with the official governments of this world in this age, they can take away our license to preach. Sorry, no one gave it to me, and no one can take it away.
Amen.
Yirmiyahu 1:10 says, before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and ordained thee a prophet to the nations. Bereshis 35, verse 10. Elohim said to Yaakov, your name is Yaakov. Your name is no longer Yaakov, but Yisroel, overcomer, is your name.
Hallelujah.
So Yahweh called his name Yisroel. Now, Vani's going to appreciate this. Where did Yahweh change Yaakov's name to Yisroel? When he came from Padanaram, hello? And he settled in Shechem. In Shechem, he became an overcomer. Shechem, along with Jericho and along with Hebron, is a city of Judah that was originally in the land of Canaan. You with me, somebody?
Amen.
And he gave him the promise of the two houses. Look in Bereshis 35, 10 and 11. And Elohim said to him, Ani El Shaddai. El Shaddai does not mean the Most High God. It means the Master of all spirits, the Spirit of all spirits, the El of all Shadim, all demons. The Hebrew word for demon is Shad. Shadim is demons. He said, I am not concerned about Shadim because I am the Elohim of the Shadim. I am El Shaddai. Yahweh is not tempted by sin, neither is he tempted by evil, because he is the creator and master of the demons and the spirits and the spirit realm. Yahweh said, I am El Shaddai, bear fruit, pruvu, increase. Verse 11, a nation and a company of nations. Hello? A nation, Goy, and a company of nations, Kahal Amim. You know any assembly made up of returning members from the nations, Gentiles, non-Jewish believers, an assembly of Gentiles, an assembly of those gathered from the nations? Do you know any today that love Yeshua, that claim to be Israel, that claim to be his people, that claim to be his Zionist company? Do you know any folks like that? He says, from Jacob's body will come a nation, Jewish Israel, and a company of Gentiles. Saved, born-again Gentiles, who will become the other house of Israel. Ephraim, Yisrael. From Jacob's body, look at this, verse 11. Look at the end of verse 11. From your body, is it spiritual or physical? It's a physical promise. From Jacob's body, who is now Israel, would come not just a Goy, Jewish Israel, but Kahal Amim, or an assembly of nations. Do we have any in that assembly of nations here today that have joined with the Jewish people? And now these two, the Goy of Judah and the Kahal Amim, assembled and rescued the 10 tribes of Israel, Ephraim, Israel, who are now born again. We are the two houses. But where was this promise given? Shechem. You know what Shechem is called today? Nablus. Nablus. We turned on the TV yesterday and we heard today the Israeli operation has expanded into the most populous Palestinian city on the West Bank. It's not enough that the Israelis want Jericho and Hebron. They've expanded to Nablus. Have you ever heard of a city called Nablus? Huh? It's the largest Palestinian city. But the Bible doesn't call it Nablus. It calls it Shechem. And Shechem is where Jacob became Israel. Shechem is where Jacob buried his idols to become Israel, and his wife Rachel's idols to become Israel. Are you with me? He left Padan Aram and he entered Shechem. Today they say it's Nablus. Yahweh says sorry. Yahweh says it's a city of Yehudah. It is a city of Yehudah. It is a place where Yaakov received the two-house prophecy, where he buried his idols. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Now, go with me, please. And by the way, you know the city of Nablus is in the north, that the Palestinians have called Nablus, which is biblical Shechem, in the north. And you know where that is right now, brothers and sisters? Samaria. That city belongs to Ephraim. Shechem belongs to Ephraim. Those of you who are Ephraimites, okay, that the entire West Bank is the southern kingdom of Judah, the cities of Judah, and Nablus in the north is a city of Samaria. That's why the Orthodox Jews call the West Bank Judea and Samaria, because it belongs to Ephraim. Nablus, Shechem, is an Ephraimite city. And you and I need to believe the report of Yahweh. That's some of your, you'll be returning to Shechem. You'll be returning to the cities of Ephraim, because the Palestinians are on our land. So the entire West Bank is better known biblically as Judea and Samaria. Are you with me? Judea, first Debrei Hayamim 6, Judea. 2 Shmuel 5:1, Judea. Shechem, the hills of Ephraim. Now, so this West Bank, so far, we've encountered three towns of Israel. Hebron, the first capital. Jericho, the first city conquered. And Shechem, where the promise to Yaakov, and his name was changed to Israel. And he was given the promise of the two houses of Israel. Now go with me to Micah. Micah. What does Micah mean? Micha Mocha. Michael. Who is like Yahweh? Amen. Micah. Micah 5:2. Today, Bethlehem, the house of bread, is in Palestinian occupied territory. At one time, it was the birthplace of the first king of Israel and the Moshiach of Israel. Yeshua HaMoshiach was born in Bethlehem of Ephrata. Watch this. Aren't you tired of the lies? Aren't you tired of the propaganda? Aren't you tired of the disinformation? I mean, we've heard the term, the Israeli occupied West Bank, so often that we actually are starting to, we can't separate fact from fiction. But away with the fiction and in with the facts. Turn to your neighbor and say, away with the fiction.
Away with the fiction.
Forget about it.
Not diction, fiction. Micah 5:2. But thou, Bethlehem Ephrata, you are the smallest among the cities of Palestine.
Uh-oh.
Let's read that again. Because something popped in my eyes. It was a retina. But thou, Bethlehem Ephrata, you who are little amongst the cities or the tribes of Judah, Yehudah. Bethlehem is in the land of Judah, where we get the word Jew. Hebron was the first capital of Israel. Jericho was given to the general Joshua by the captain of the host, Yahshua. Shechem was where Yaakov became Yisroel. Not a small event. Do we have any Israelites here today? Your father got his name in Shechem, which is today. You'll go home tonight and hear that the Israeli army refuses to leave Nablus. Why should they? That's where Jacob became Israel.
Amen.
But you go home today and say, Israeli tanks are rolling through the streets of Nablus.
Yes.
You know, my response is, let them roll.
Yeah.
Because all the martyrs should be coming out and lying down in front of the tanks. But the martyrs are not there. How come we can't find the martyrs? Where are the martyrs now? Now that the Israeli Defense Forces are in operation and they're in full swing, where are the martyrs? If you've got any, bring them out. Let's inspect them. Let's see them mano a mano, man to man. I'm waiting for all the martyrs. I'm waiting for the Islamic Jihad, Hamas, the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, Hezbollah. Let them just, here you've got hundreds of tanks, you've got 30,000 Israeli Defense Forces. Let's see your martyrs. Let's give us your best shot.
Come on.
They want to be martyrs. They want 72 virgins. According to Islamic law, they can only have 4 wives. So they figure, well, if I kill some Jews, I'll get 72 instead of 4. But you got to practice what you preach. Muhammad had 15 wives. How come he limited all his followers to 4 when he had 15? And 3 of them were Jewish. He didn't mind having sex with Jews, and then when he finished, he just killed them. If that's not a warped religion, you explain to me which one is. That's what we're dealing with, brothers and sisters. That's what we're dealing with. Do I love the sons of Esau? Absolutely. I love them the way Yeshua loved them. Let them come into the kingdom. Let them come into the kingdom. And they'll be washed and cleansed of all their mishuyahs. And our brothers and sisters. There's room for the Edomite in the kingdom, but not in place of Judah. And you're talking about the negotiations. Okay, if the Palestinians need a state, give them a state. Didn't Ariel Sharon say we're going to give them a state? No problem. Stop killing our women. Stop the suicide. Take all your martyrs, there's 30,000 Israeli soldiers in the Palestinian occupied West Bank. Bring them out. Let's see. Give it your best shot. How come we can't find the martyrs nowadays? Have you heard of any martyrs in the last 7 days? Why? Because they're hiding behind the skirt of the papists down in this Church of the Nativity. The church has an opportunity, the secular church, not the true born-again believers. The secular church has an opportunity to undo the wrongs that they've done to the people of Israel, to stand with the people, the Jewish people, and turn over the 200 murderers that they are now harboring. Yahweh has given them another chance, and they're failing again. They're failing again. You following those events in Bethlehem? How many are following those events in Bethlehem?
200 cowards.
How many crusades? How many inquisitions? How many Jews are you going to kill until that system learns to love Yahweh's people and not to harbor these Palestinians who are fully armed? And P.S., they're holding the priests hostage. Hello? They're holding the priests hostage. So I believe Yahweh, in the birthplace of Yeshua, a city of Judah, has given them a chance to stand to undo the wrongs of the past, and they're blowing it again. They're blowing it again. Sorry. How tragic. What a shame. What a shame. True believers, Ephraimites, are praying for Israel. Christian Zionists who love Israel are standing with Israel. But we have the mother harboring the martyrs of Palestine who want to kill Jews and Christians. Do you know that? Muhammad said, whoever makes a friend of the Jews or the Christians is no friend of Allah. The Hadith says, first we will destroy the Saturday people, and then we will destroy the Sunday people. It's in the Hadith.